Hello everyone, so in this video we will talk about the BetaFPV Pavo20 and we will convert this to from its pusher type. We will convert this to a regular micro drone with this AlfaRC FI-100, but actually it was sold by SoloGood instead of AlfaRC. So I'm not sure if they are the same company, but when I received the package, it has the logo of Alpha RC on it. Okay, so this is the Alpha RC FI-100-20, and we will see what the contents are. As you can see, this is a carbon fiber frame, and it's a bit thick. I think this is a 3mm frame. You have the logo of Alpha RC and 4 sets of holes for your motors, and the wheelbase is 100. Meanwhile, the Pavo20's wheelbase is 95. Bottom plate, I think this is double the thickness, and it's really thick. The size of this is 20mm, so it will fit the O3 air unit or any other similar camera that you might use. There is a hole for this carbon fiber frame, and you will put this TPU so that the camera is protected. At the same time, it is soft enough to provide some isolation from the motors. You got sets of screws that you could use, all are Allen wrench, and you got 4 standoffs and fit in this camera, this antenna mount that you put at the back part of the frame. Shorter antenna like this one, or if you want to use the DJI antenna, you could place it in the middle and it could fit. Some motor mount that you could put at the bottom of this drone as a stand to put some space between the flight controller and the ground. So you got a battery strap here. So with the AlfaRC, it's around, without anything, without the DJI. So okay, so just to show you how it looks like, let's just try to fit this in. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Very small, very light. Okay, so we have finally disassembled the Pavo20. So we'll place it here on the frame, and let's try to see if we could be able to mount it. Okay, so we have a bit of room to work on. We have one problem. If we use the normal orientation of the flight controller, this motor will not reach the end, because this is actually designed for 95mm wheelbase. So we had to invert the flight controller as well. So with doing so, we are now able to reach this 100 wheelbase without much issue. Okay, so another problem would be this capacitor here. You also invert it. So I think it would be a bit of a stretch for this, what do you call this, XT30. Okay, so far we have fit everything. We just stretched this motor wires a bit so we could reach the 100 wheelbase, and so far so good. Everything is well protected except for those capacitor. Let's try to put this gem fan. Okay, so we have finally finished our conversion of this Pavo20. We inverted the flight controller. The wires for this motor is just for 95mm wheelbase. It did not reach the motor hole, so I had to invert it so we could have some room to play, and we're able to reach 100 wheelbase. Room for this battery strap, and then we use a zip tie to ultimately hold it together. It weighs, it's actually 101 grams, so I'm not sure if this would be a good flyer. It's quite heavy without any battery, so with battery it would be 140 grams. Let's do some flights. So we found the propeller. Okay, so I think we need to go back to the drawing board. This is not a possible this is not possible. It's safe, but it's quite heavy for this build, the Pavo20, so it's not possible to move this to an AlfaRC FI-100. I think this is for something that has more torque, so probably a 4S and a bigger motor. The 2-inch propeller will work, but you will need a very big motor, and especially you need a bigger battery as well. Okay, so let's discuss first what I have adjusted with this build from the Pavo20 AlfaRC frame. I removed the front carbon fiber, so we lowered down the weight a couple of grams, so we removed this. Another thing is I decased the O3 air unit. This is not yet the naked one. I just removed the aluminum case, and we significantly lowered down the weight. Also, I changed the antenna. I used the dipole antenna. This currently works with the build. The range is still okay with this dipole antenna. It's a bit heavy, the antenna of the O3 air unit, so we removed that. I also changed this antenna mount. So this part, I just 3D printed this at a lower infill, so the grams, we saved a couple of grams again. Okay, currently our weight is around 89.87. With the battery, we are at around 128 grams. So our savings is, I think, around 12 to 13 grams. The flight is quite significantly different compared with the heavier one. So if we will be using the Flywoo G case kit, probably we could lower it a bit more. I think I don't have any other things that I could adjust here, because everything is currently optimized for the build. So far I was able to fly really well with this one. I'm still in horizon mode, so I haven't done it in air mode. So next time we'll try to do some freestyle with this.